We're getting a pulse on the consumer here, kicking off a big week of retail earnings from the likes of Macy's, Target, Elf, Deckers Outdoor, and Ross stores. We're going to get clues about consumer spending as inflation still remaining sticky, particularly in apparel, where the rate of price increases in April remains above 1% from the prior month and year. Here with more live from the New York Stock Exchange, we have Scott Baxter, CEO of Kontoor Brands. Kontoor rang the opening bell this morning to herald in its 5-year anniversary, and we also have Yahoo Finance's executive editor Brian Sozzi joining us at the desk. Take it away, Brian.
Scott, good to see you here this morning. I can't believe it's been 5 years since the company broke up from VF Corp. And just in terms of demand, in a moment where consumers are so focused on inflation, what are you seeing on the top line?
Well, we're seeing, you probably saw our last quarter, we had some inventory challenges with our biggest customers, but we hit the numbers and actually exceeded what we had committed to. And we've kind of said that program that we're on right now is going to be complete through the rest of the year. So, what we've committed to, we said we're going to hit through the remainder of the year. And I think our feeling on the consumer right now, Brian, is pretty simple, that the consumer right now is going to go ahead and buy the things that they need. So to be in a space like us where we're a consumer staple and you use our product for work and recreation, it's an important space to be in. And also we're at a great price point. That's really relevant right now in this marketplace.
Scott, are you still out there pushing through higher prices just because you see various pressures in the supply chain?
No, we're not out there doing that in any significant way. We think that we're in a really, really good position. We like how we position our brands and where we position them and the specific channels that we're in. And our consumers gotten used to our brands at the right price point in the right channels. So we think we're in a really good position, and we've been gaining share, Brian. So that's been really important to us. During a tough time gaining share, those are some of the things that you want to make sure are getting done in your brands.
Scott, I'm curious, what do you attribute that to? And then the ability here to maintain that brand, that larger market share that you now have because of the result of your more competitive pricing. How do you keep those consumers coming back once inflation isn't as big of an issue anymore?
I think for us, it's been the demand creation. We build great products, so we're designing a product that people actually want to buy. They want to buy it at full price, and then we back it up with some incredible demand creation. I mean, just this past week alone is a great example. Lainey Wilson is a spokesperson for our Western line, for our female Western line, and here she wins, Entertainer of the Year at the American Academy of Country Music Awards, Female Vocalist of the Year, and we've got a big line coming out with her in the fall that she helped design. So the timing of all that and just, the explosion of her popularity in our line together, it's just really perfect timing. So it's things like that from a demand creation standpoint that keep us relevant in the forefront with our consumer.
Well, Scott, if you're going to bring up country music and jeans, I got to bring up the new queen in the space, which is Beyonce. Are you concerned at all about a song like Levi's Jeans coming out and the popularity of that?
No, because we just had a song about Wrangler jeans come out from a Miranda Lambert, so we just had one happen. So
Miranda's, no, Beyonce,
I don't know.
Scott, come on. I mean, you got to be a little bit concerned, right? The market opportunity of a song like that is huge.
No, not for us. We're so embedded in the country music, space. We've been the premier country music jean in the Western jean since 1947. So we're in a really good spot with our consumers from a country music and also a Western standpoint.
Scott, a week ago, Under Armour, I think, caused a lot of folks to raise their eyebrows. Really nasty warning from that company. They're dealing with their own issues, and I get it, but it did call out continued pressure in the wholesale channel, which really, I think, reminded me and a lot of investors that department stores, they're still closing doors. And I know a lot of brands are going direct to consumer. They want to sell stuff online, but these closing of these stores, what happens over the next decade as you lose places to sell jeans?
Brian, that's really interesting, and don't know if you know this, but we really don't have a big department store business at all. That has not been our strength and not where we've concentrated. Our business, is mostly with, Walmart and Boot Barn and Target and places like that. So from a pure department store standpoint, it hasn't been a strength of ours. So it hasn't impacted us in that respect. But we think the consumer is going to our biggest and core customers that we talk about. That's where they're shopping. And they continue to do well, continue to get stronger, and they're running really good businesses. So it's a really strong partnership for us.
What I always enjoyed, Scott, following businesses like yours is orders are always placed months in advance. Talk to us about any signs of what you're seeing for back to school demand. Of course, a lot of consumers are going to be going back to school, buying jeans for their kids ahead of an election not too far removed, lots of uncertainty on the economy. Any indications you're seeing that this might be a good back to school shopping season?
Yeah, I think it's going to be fine, but I will tell you, Brian, in the last decade, back to school shopping has changed. Most families now just buy and purchase product throughout the year when it's needed and when it needs to be replaced. The going into the stores, in July and August and bulking up on a lot of product for the upcoming school year just doesn't happen at the capacity that it used to. So for us, we run a business that, as you've seen quarter by quarter, is pretty steady quarter by quarter. Our business is extremely predictable.
All right, Scott Baxter, great to have you here on Yahoo Finance, CEO of Kontoor Brands. Thanks so much for joining us here from the New York Stock Exchange. And of course, our thanks to our executive editor, Brian Sazzi, as well. Thanks, guys.